Hello, YouTube divers. This is Waterdive 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Bands of the Alphabet. Last time we talked about the letter A. Today we are going to be talking about the letter B. Who is my favorite band that starts with the letter B? Well, if you've been following my channel, and if you remember episode 7 from Magic Metal Mondays, you automatically know who my favorite B band is. But in case if you don't, here it is. We are talking about Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath has been a very important band when it comes to the genre of metal because they created heavy metal. So what? I mean, heavy metal would not be the same without Black Sabbath. There are so many iconic metal songs from them, as well as their classic lineup of Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and of course Bill Ward. And the album that so happens to be my favorite Sabbath album has that lineup. The 1973 album, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Now, if you remember from my Black Sabbath ranking, I talked a little bit about why I love this album the way that I do, and how it falls just short out of my top 10 all-time favorite metal albums. But Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, in of its own self, is just a phenomenal album, and this is really the album where I say that this is a real metal album. Now, the previous 3 albums, which were Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Volume 4, they were kind of, in my opinion, flirting with metal a little bit, especially on Master of Reality when they started using down tuning. But on this album, they use it a lot. They use it frequently. And I do like down tuning from time to time, and this is one of those cases. I mean, the title track is my favorite song off the album. It's my favorite Sabbath song. Yeah, and plus, it's the song that opens up this freaking album. What an opener! Also, I really like another song on this album, Sabracadabra, is a really really great song, and there are lots of other great songs on this record too. I pretty much loved everything about this record. I love Ozzy's vocals. This is, in my opinion, the album where he really shines as a vocalist. Tony Iommi has some great guitar riffs and solos, as he usually does. And Geezer Butler's lyrics are just downright oh so Geezer Butler. And of course, Bill Ward does a great job on drumming. And did I mention that Geezer Butler does a freaking amazing job on the bass, as he usually does. This album is solid, and it's a foundation of why I absolutely love this genre. And I'm going to say it, this is, in my opinion, the first real metal album. And I've already explained that because as I've said, Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Volume 4 were heavily flirting with the heavier tone, but on this album it just goes full on heavy metal. It's the riffs are heavy, the vocals and lyrics are absolutely haunting. This is a very doomful record, if I can even say that. No, that was Master of Reality. What am I talking about? But regardless, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath will always be my favorite Black Sabbath album, and Black Sabbath will always be my favorite letter B band, because like Anthrax, Black Sabbath is one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time. So, there you go. And of course, I will rate this band a 10 out of 10. And like I said in the previous video, all these bands get a freaking 10 out of 10. What more can I say? And of course, I will run through 3 honorable mentions, bands that I really love or like, that just missed out on the top spot. But for letter B, it wasn't really that difficult. So the 3 bands I have as honorable mentions are Breaking Benjamin, mainly because they created the masterpiece that is Dear Agony. Love that album. And I can never remember who their vocalist is, but he has a freaking amazing voice. And of course, Blind Guardian, the German power metal legends that were heavily influenced by Halloween. Yeah, Blind Guardian, freaking amazing band. Also, mainly because they created Nightfall and Middle Earth, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest power metal albums. And then lastly, you have Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name, Bad Medicine. The list just goes on. In my opinion, Bon Jovi definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. They're a great band. They have a lot of great stuff. But overall, those three bands, Breaking Benjamin, Blind Guardian, and Bon Jovi, they all fall short of Black Sabbath, who takes my favorite B. Favorite band that starts with the letter B. I almost said B spot, but you know. So yeah. B is for Black Sabbath, and they freaking rule. So, what more can I say about Black Sabbath? They're a freaking amazing band, and if you don't know, check them out. So yeah, that concludes that concludes today's edition of Bands of the Alphabet. Tomorrow I will be going through my favorite band that starts with the letter C. Stay in tune for that, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thank you for watching.